Beautiful, beautiful morning on the Bumper Breakfast Show today. It's an exciting day, and I'm glad that you are here with us, joining us on the show. It's the Bumper Breakfast. We do this Mondays through Friday, and if you don't know my name is Tomise Ojo. And that's my name. All right, I'm the host of the Bumper Breakfast Show. Of course, we're going to be looking at quite a number of things this morning. First of all, the stories that made the front page of the dailies. And I'm sure that we all know that Amotekun is still reigning all over town. People are reacting here and there to the story of Amotekun. And of course, we have quite a number of other stories on the front page of the dailies, but I'll be taking one of them. Start with Nigerians not happy. That's Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Nigerians not happy. How to get it right. Sambo Shetima, fire me. Others are talking. And no regret over civil war. That's from Gowon. Senate formally opens Trump impeachment trial. That starts page 45 of the Daily Trust tells you more. And now we will work with Uzodimma. Imo PDP lawmakers are finally talking. Hurdles as Nigeria, Ghana, four others rejects the EDCO currency. I remember that earlier in the week, the Minister for Finance, Budget and National Planning, am I correct? Yeah. Wanted to meet with some other countries, and Cape Verde, even though a Portuguese-speaking country, was part of that meeting, all about trying to ascertain if Nigeria and these other countries agree to go with the ECO currency proposal. But no, Nigeria, others reject the ECO currency. Details of the story, page 16 of the Daily Trust tells you more. And PDP to CJN, recuse yourself in Bauchi, Sokoto, other governorship appeals. That's right there, page 48 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Of course, those are stories on the front page of the dailies. But joining us to look into the papers this morning is Mr. Azeem Oladimeji. Good morning, Azeem.
Good morning.
Good morning, Azeem. You should sing Happy New Year for me. There should be a song you're going to sing for me.
Really? You should also for me.
So it's a new year.
It's a new year.
And it's the first time that you're going to be here this year.
Yes. First time. And my first media engagement for
the year. Really? All right. So because you're here, means that some certain things are happening, especially with young people.
Yes.
In the Nigerian space, I mean, not call it the global space, in the national space right about now. So talk to me. What exactly has been happening?
Yeah, a lot has been happening within the social, political, and economic landscape.
Yes.
You know, the issue of unemployment is still pronounced. The issue of politics, just recently, the issue of Amotekun is on the high. The issue of the emo drama is
the
also
emo drama.
The emo
That's
drama
true.
is also there. And then we've continued to open conversation on federalism. The local government, we saw news within the week that governors should stop hijacking local government funds.
Okay.
And just yesterday...
Oh, that one is a very interesting one. Remember that Senator Itahenang was saying that when the governors who are hijacking the funds leave office and their immunity is over, they will be prosecuted. You read the story?
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Very interesting one. And then just like I am coming in for the first time for the year, President Muhammadu Buhari will also be jetting out of the country for the first time on a foreign trip to London today.
See the comparison of this young man does not, stop making me laugh. So, really? See the comparison, because you're here for the first time this year. President Muhammadu Buhari
is my first media trip, and he's also going on his first foreign trip.
Very significant.
Very significant.
What's he going to anyway?
London. To open a business meeting, which will be presided by the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, expected to be at that forum, heads of states from Africa and also the business moguls. The purpose of the meeting is to continue to open Africa to the global community.
Yes.
So as for us to address some of our social and economic challenges, illiteracy, unemployment, and then open the space to, industrialization.
But Africa seems to be one of the most backward continents right now, especially when you look at development all around. Yes, some countries are doing better than others when it comes to certain issues, but apart from the unrest that we have in places like Sudan, Libya, and the rest of it, we also have economic crisis in places, too many presidents that want to stay for life, and changing the scheme of things, all around town. And then there is the black against black business, happening right there. So it seems as if this current OAU, whatever they call them now, doesn't seem to be doing so much. AU now.
Yeah, African Union, yes. I think in a bit contrast to your opinion, I think just recently we saw in the news that Nigeria is part of the
apart from Nigeria.
Okay, apart from Nigeria, okay.
That's why I called it Africa.
Africa, but Nigeria is part of Africa.
Of course, we are part of Africa. We're the giant of Africa.
But then, I think it was on this show that we've also challenged the effectiveness of African Union.
Yes.
It has.
And I think that was when we were talking about the xenophobic attack.
The xenophobic attack and the very subtle intervention of African Union. But beyond African Union, we should also understand that all African states are sovereign. To that extent, they have the capacity and, of course, the primary function to drive their own economy and not just hiding under the guise of one supranational organization. And then also beyond the African Union, there are also other sub-regional organizations which could be used to channel their, their goal. We have the Eastern African communities. We have ECOWAS also here, But for me, I think most of the international organizations are being, especially in Africa, are not really equipped. They are not really equipped, and they are not so institutional to confront the challenges that Africa face.
Yes.
And that is why forums like the one the president is heading for is very, very important. How can we build a global synergy with those who have been doing very fine? But although we must also understand that this fine is relative. The Brexit crisis had made us understand that the European Union is also not doing very fine.
But it's still the strongest currency.
Regional organization. But it has, at least that strength has been tested with the Brexit,
crisis. And I remember that just yesterday, Angela Merkel, granting an interview to one of the foreign media, stated that even European Union would have to up its game.
Of course, definitely.
They have certain crises that they also need to resolve.
Absolutely. And then the whole issue that the whole issue of US-Iran is also one of the critical issues within the global.
Unfortunately, affecting some African countries.
Definitely, there is always the economic, political, social, cultural effect, because the global system is a village. The issue of globalization has allowed intermixture, inter-exchange, interconnectivity of states, interdependence of states. That whatever that happens to country here will definitely have you know, a ripple effect on country B. On country B. Of course, you can also see the protest against United States of America, even by some of the pro-Iran groups in Nigeria. Yeah, and then you should also follow the reaction of the Nigerian police to that particular protest development.
I wasn't surprised when that sprang up, because somewhere along the line last year, we had El-Zakzaky being requested for by Iran.
Yes.
For his medical treatment, as it were, which means that people, you know, he's been in the clouds that the organization IMN is founded or being sponsored by Iran. It's been part of the comments and you know, all around in the media, but them coming out to protest about what happened is an indication that there is a synergy somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely, is an indication. And if the best indication is the ideological persuasion that both countries kind of share, which is Islam religion. So they have come out perhaps to align with their own brothers in Islam. Going through that turbulent moment. So that is the...
But what about the fact that they've been proscribed?
Yeah, you know...
which aligns in a way with Donald Trump's position when it comes to Iran right now.
Yeah, the proscription of the Shiite in...
Of IMN.
Of IMN, okay, proscription of IMN. You see, like I was discussing with a colleague yesterday, all these rules, international laws, international rules and regulations, they are, to me, I have always defined them as a ruse, as something that is deceptive, that is, I think it's, if I would use the word perfunctory, you know, it is just there, it is just literary, it has no practical commitment. States only abide to them when they are being threatened by a relatively, you know, more powerful state, you know. Everyone have been, you know, talking, the issue of US-Iran had opened into a speculation, a lot of argument, debate from, you know, the both sides. But let me say, yeah, and let me put it unequivocally that the United States of America, you know, carried out that assignment, that attack. Of course, there is always political correctness, using language to justify certain development.
Yes.
You know, the killing, because to me it is a killing, and to me it is against international norm. But Trump has come out to say that he's doing that in the interest of global peace. Okay, can Nigeria also, if we feel threatened by, you know, another state, perhaps America or Iran, can we also carry out such state killing in the interest of global peace? You know, so you know, the whole issue is that the issue of hegemonic stability is in fact threatening international peace, global peace, that any state, these powerful states, can just carry out, you know,
an international killing, and across the waters, across the continents, killing. You know,
and then it is, you know, look at the...
They didn't need to deploy soldiers. That was the one that amazed me.
Yeah, you know, look at the whole issue of the World War I, World War II. these are wars in the European countries, and then they term it to become, you know, a world
war.
You know, it is,
and it was limited to a particular area.
Of course,
we know that it was limited.
You know,
to
it was simply an European crisis.
Well, you know that the rest of the world was dragged into that crisis because it's either they are protectorate or colonies of the European countries.
Absolutely.
So
you know,
we had veterans who participated in that war.
Exactly, but
simply because
those
we were
veterans, those veterans are not. Don't forget then that Africans, except for Ethiopia or Liberia also, were independent states at that particular time. So those veteran soldiers were not, you know, we were still under the...
That's what I'm saying, we were the protectorate or the colony of the European countries.
What I'm trying to say is that some of these killings that are being perpetrated in the interest of global peace should be seen as you know, state terrorism. You know, should not be, because it means, look at the whole issue of Iraq invasion. You know, it is on the account, it is also on the basis of protecting global peace.
Anyway, I'd like to stop this conversation.
Which unfortunately was later, what they were trying to protest was later known to be false.
Anyway, we move into the stories in the papers this morning, and one of those stories was, you know, the issue of Iran. Of course, that's why we had to take time to look at that. But NBA faults the AGF, and Fayemi says security agencies partnered governors on Amotekun. Amotekun has been in the news for quite a while. That's on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Amotekun has been in the news for quite a while now. Throughout this week, everywhere you turn, it is one reaction to one reaction to one reaction. And then on Tuesday, somebody came up. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, came and declared Amotekun illegal. And the following day stood by his statement and said, yes, he did say it was illegal, that no state, no you know, region can come together to want to defend Nigeria, because the job of the federal government is to secure, you know, our borders and secure our lives and property, taking on the responsibility of the federal government. What's your position, first of all, on the declaration of that project illegal?
Yeah, I will not want to speak as a Yoruba man.
No.
You know,
as a Nigerian.
As a Nigerian, I think that declaration in itself is illegal. Yes, I am not a lawyer, but we've had commentaries. We've dissect these commentaries. I have also taken time to check, you know, to introspect into the Constitution of Nigeria, and I have also, you know, asked questions about the power of the AGF, the limitations of its power. So I think, and then I've also, as a political scientist, I have also understood that federalism explains that powers should be devolved between component units, which the state governors, as the chief security officers of their own state, also have power, you know, to protect their own citizens within the ambit of the Constitution. So for me, I think it is therefore illegal to say that the governors who want to, you know, carry out their constitutional responsibilities should not do so. So I think the declaration itself is illegal. And then you will look, you will see that Professor Isse Sagi and some other notable eminent personalities in Nigeria have also, you know, advised the southwestern governors to ignore Malami. We also
ignore.
Yes,
but going by
Malami.
that statement that they should ignore Malami. Malami is a member of the executive, and the accusation has also been there. People asking the question: is he speaking for the government, or is he speaking in his office?
Yeah, whichever way, whether he is speaking for the government or speaking for the presidency, it's an issue of intergovernmental relations. He is the Attorney General of the Federation. So I think if he is having issues with Amotekun, I think the best place to go is to head to the court. You know, go to the court. You know, and you know, it is interesting because I have also argued that development will come. Most development in Nigeria that we experience,
yes,
they are not deliberate good development. They are not developed. They have never been development. If we can cast our mind back to 1999, most of the developments we have seen are development by contradictions. You know, contradictions among the political elites. You know, all the you know, benefits. You know, the carcass, the remnants that we enjoy today. There have never been you know, such governance that are deliberately you know, advanced to the people. They are things that come as a result of contradictions among, you know, the elite. So it is interesting that the state governors are now, for whatever reason, political coloration behind it, they have, you know, create a security outfit that will protect the people of their region. And it's also interesting that the presidency of the federal executive government are also contradicting this development. So let them go to the court. It is also going to be a test of, you know, the federal institution that we have always wore, which for me I think it's pure rickety. It is purely agnostic. So let them go to the court. Let them test the federal system of Nigeria. So, and then I'm sure that after the court ruling is most likely to be in the favor of these southwestern governors, because you cannot be chief security officers of your own state, and yet you do not control the security system
of your state. Interesting story in Nigerian Tribune, still Amotekun, and says outfit was born out of Buhari's vision for community policing. That's Fayemi. Southwest representatives back the initiative and even wants governors to provide infrastructure for it. Now, Daniel Shonkuti Nnamdi Kanu and APC in diaspora are giving their support for the project. So it seems as if all around town, people are giving support.
Yeah, it is expected, because what is glaring is the security challenge.
Okay.
There is security infraction, which cannot be denied, you know, and then of course, because there is insecurity should not mean that states or individuals should take laws into their hand. You know, of course, our constitution also, you know, you know, advance self-defense. You know, so. But what I am saying is that I understand we should also not forget the political coloration of all of this. When people
so
say
you think there's a political coloration?
No. I am trying to say that we should not overemphasize on this support that we are reading on papers. We should not overemphasize them.
Okay.
Perhaps support from Nnamdi Kanu, you know, for, you know, Amotekun against the position of the federal government. You know, so we should not overemphasize. We should also be very careful of exaggerating some of this support. But what I am saying is that it's not about whether the public are supporting it or not. It is about is it legal? Let them. I would not even want the conversation to end on the paper or to end.
It should go to the courtroom.
I don't want it even to end at Asura. I want it to go to the courtroom.
And let's test.
And let's test our federal system, at least for once.
For once.
Yes, let's test it.
All right, national security agencies backed Amotekun. That's another story. That was the Guardian newspaper. Nation newspaper, still the same story. Fayemi Amotekun aligns with Buhari's security vision. There is room for operational change. Talks on over controversy, says Akonde. Those are stories still front page of the papers. I'll take this one. Makinde betrayed us. Ibadan others are talking. Ladoja others are suing. It's your state.
Anyway, that's the state. That's the state I reside. I'm a typical Lagosian.
That's why I said your state, because you stay there. You eat their food.
Yes. I eat their malang.
Anyway, you eat their malang and they laugh.
No, you know, it's dudu.
You prefer the black amala.
The black amala.
So talk to me. What's up with the Obas of Ibadan? I thought they have agreed to support the Olubado of Ibadan.
Yeah,
are they still trying?
Did the news because I want to know if it is very interesting than I thought. Does it include Ladoja also?
Yes, Ladoja and others too.
Ladoja and others too. It's interesting. That makes it more interesting anyway. That makes it more interesting. You see, I am on a paper.
A total of 42 Obas.
Okay, it's interesting.
Created.
You know, the one that is more catchy is the inclusion of Ladoja. That's more catchy, you know. And then Yoruba will always say, but I don't want to be at the risk of not quoting the proverb very well. But
what is in Yoruba? I'll interpret.
No. Yes, I said I wouldn't want to be at the risk of not quoting it very well.
Okay, quote it the way you know, and let me correct you.
Let me just demonstrate, the proverb that what the soup that you cook in Ori, without, there's a soup that that you cook in Ori, you don't get to get the taste you expected. No, the taste you expected, because everything was just
done in
rush. Everything was impetus, so I think that is the case with that is the summary of the Ibadan politics. I expect all of this happening. This is coming after Barrister Sharafaddin Ali, the governorship candidate of ZLP, who also went into the coalition that produced Governor Seyi Makinde, also asked Seyi Makinde to obey the coalition agreement. This is also coming after Lanley, the also candidate of ADC, who have obviously been sidelined from the scheme of governance or of government in Oyo State. So I think it is a lesson to our politicians that there is a need for us to protect political party ideology. I likened the kind of political party ideologies we have in Nigeria today as being unstructured party ideology, situational and operational party ideology. We don't
just comes up when they need to, they just spring up.
They just come up with
projects.
Come up with a project. They don't have a clear-cut plan, a distinctive ideology which they stand for. Everything is unstructured. Everything is just to react to the current situation, and everything is just to unseat the government in power without any commitment to even the programs and plans they have drew for good governance. So, and that is why when you do all of these RNG and the person gets there,
the person faces his own business.
He faces his own business, and then
after all, he's the one there.
He's the one there, and he's supposed to rule in the interest of his own political party ideology. Because one interesting thing about coalition, the way we are with the coalition is that when you go into coalition is quite different from alliance. When you go into coalition, you go into strengthening one of the many, not alliance. Just like the APC. The APC happens to be one of the alliance parties that we have in Nigeria. The confluence, the confluence of ACN, AMPP, CPC, and all of that
coming together to align their views,
and then
their ideology, their projects, and
then grind it to become one. Unlike coalition, whereby parties come to strengthen one of the many parties. So when you expect that what you should expect is that when that political party get there, the person is only strategic. He only understand that he cannot get there without you. So he needed you to get there. Not that he needed you for good governance. He only needed you as a means to political power. So I think this should also be a lesson to other politicians that they need to strengthen political ideology of their own political parties and stand on their ideological conviction. This kind of ideology I categorized as a teleological party ideology, whereby you envision the future. A stable ideology that reacts to the yearnings, the challenges that the people face, and then you use your political party to drive that the people to that destination, and not just creating mushroom political party, terrorist political parties, just to get to political power.
Azeem would not.
Yes, most of these political parties are terrorist parties.
How do you mean? Always a pleasure having this young man on the show. Terrorist political parties, really?
Yeah.
Terrorizing who?
Terrorizing the public. Terrorizing our public wealth.
Our public wealth.
That is it. You can imagine the 2019 general election. We all stayed overnight, counting XYZ 1 vote, ZPZ 2 votes, burning public wealth, generator, fuel, logistics, and all of that. Unstructured parties, they have no business
being
there at all.
And we have 90.
And we have about 92 of them like that.
We have 92.
And we have to, election held for 24 hours, we have to count votes for about 96 hours.
The only place where that happens is in Africa.
Is in Nigeria.
No, it happened there also in Africa. There was a country in Africa who conducted their own election, and 3 days later they were still counting.
Okay, that is, I'm just talking about the numbers of, political parties.
No, number of political parties. That's only Nigeria. Peculiar all over the world, only Nigeria.
I always say that if numbers of political parties will be used as yardstick to measure democracy, Nigeria should be one of the best democracies in the world. Yes,
but fortunately for us, almost everywhere else in the world, they practice almost a two-party system.
Yeah, almost a two-party system.
The third is always conservative. It's always maybe an independent.
And again, there is what we call structural political parties. The structural political parties are parties that their ideology is stable with local consideration. They are not going to contest seats at the state or national level.
And I think that's what made the Prime Minister of Great Britain win the last vote.
And I think we should also learn a cue from this. Some of these political parties should concentrate on local issues. I want to see a political party in Nigeria that will say, come, our own interest is to address local issues, challenges that people face at the local level. That is the kind of parties we should have. And not every party wearing a national look and having that sense of eating at the national level. So that is why I say they are terrorist
Did you call
parties.
it eating again?
Yes, eating now.
Eating.
Because they know that they cannot win elections.
No.
I'm a psychologist.
But they want to strategically position them. So you share that idea too. They just strategically position themselves to go for the election and then form an alliance or a coalition
thank you very
that will
much.
bring
That's exactly
part of the national cake
that's
to the table.
That's exactly where I'm going.
That's where you're going.
Thank you for intercepting me appropriately.
Anyway, we've been talking to Azeem Oladimeji on the show this morning. It's always an interesting time with this young man in the studio. And we're coming up next with motivation, and it's all about young people. We'll be back after this break.